There was once an archer in the Heian period that sunk an entire ship with a single arrow. Masters, welcome to the Fate Grand Order Servant Overview for Servant Archer Minamoto no Tametomo. Historically, Minamoto no Tametomo was a real figure, as well as the protagonist of Shinsetsu Yumiharizuki. He was renowned for his military prowess and his exceptional skills with the bow. It is said in legend that his left arm was 4 inches longer than his right, allowing him to draw his bow farther. One of his greatest and best known achievements was sinking an entire Taira ship with a single shot of his bow. After the Hogen Rebellion, the Taira cut the ligament of Tametomo's left arm in order to hinder his ability to draw the bow. Afterwards, he was then exiled, where he would plunder and commit suicide after being hunted by the imperial court. In Fate, Minamoto no Tametomo is a machine created to fight Oni and yokai. He is made from the recycled technology of Minamoto no Raiko and her 4 heavenly kings' armor, the Setsu armor. However, before his completion, he was sealed away due to the drastic drop in the number of Oni and yokai. After a significant amount of time, he was then unsealed and completed with lesser grade parts to fight in wars. Tametomo's first skill is Chinsei Hachiro A. It increases Tametomo's buster attacks for 3 attacks, lasting 3 turns by 30 to 50%. It also increases his critical damage for 3 turns by 20 to 30%. His second skill is Indomitable Bowmanship B. It grants Tametomo a Guts for 1 time, lasting 3 turns, and charges his NP by 20 to 30%. And when the Guts is activated, it increases his NP damage for 1 time for 3 turns for 10 to 20% and cleanses his debuffs. His third skill is Mechanical Archery EX. It grants Tametomo Ignore Evasion for 5 turns and gives him the self-regeneration buff for 5 turns, which increases his own NP damage by 10 to 20% for 1 time every turn for 5 turns. It also gives him an NP regen buff that gives him 5 to 10% NP gauge every turn for 5 turns. His first passive is Magic Resistance C. It increases Tametomo's own debuff resistance by 15%. His second passive is Independent Action B. It increases his own critical damage by 8%. Tametomo's noble Phantasm is Gochin Yumiharizuki. It is a 4-hit AoE Buster Noble Phantasm that ignores invincibility and defense when used. It also has a special effect where it increases Tametomo's Buster damage by 20% for a turn before the damage of the NP. This effect only activates on waterside battlefields. Lastly, it has a damage modifier against lawful alignment enemies, which increases the damage by 150 to 200% depending on overcharge. Tametomo is the new addition to the wide array of servants in the Buster AoE Archer category. He is by no means the strongest. In terms of damage, Tametomo has the lowest NP damage when it comes to the NP reloading Buster AoE Archers. That doesn't mean he isn't usable though. He can loop like most servants with a 30% NP battery, unlike Arjuna who needs a 60% NP gauge starting CE. That makes him a good substitute if you don't have the other Buster AoE archers like Gilgamesh, Ishtar, and Tesla. Overall, he needs his niche to be competitive with the other servants in his class, and those niches aren't even that common. And that was the Fate Grand Order Servant Overview for Servant Class Archer Minamoto no Tametomo.